This is the holder for the reed switch that we had made up custom, and you can see this here has the magnet on it. So it's all set up so that everything's working good with the reed relay inside here, and this is made up similar to how the old system was, so it looks really nice.
We won't be rebuilding the entire windlass today. Did that a few years ago. But we will connect up the reed switch to the quick display in the cockpit, give the windlass a good cleaning, and replace those buttons that were not working properly. At the end of this video, I'll give you a few tips you don't want to miss. Cue the intro. In order to have days like this, you're going to have days like this. This is Tips on Tuesday. We're going to talk about what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Stay tuned so you don't feel like doing this. If you like these videos, please subscribe and give us a like. And if you have anything to add to the conversation or any questions, please leave them below. After the dismasting, we installed two Triton2 displays in the cockpit, and the old chain counter just didn't match the new look. Plus, it quit working before we reached the circumnavigation party in St. Thomas. First, why did it stop working? So here we got the schematic of the chain counter for the Amel Supermarimo. I also have the schematic for the board. And what happened to this one is there is a 10 ohm resistor right there. And that 10 ohm resistor is burnt out. And I was going to fix the whole thing and put it all back together, but I decided to get a new one rather than fix this old one. This part here is at least $50, $60 a piece, and the new part, if I have to replace that, it's just a magnet and a $2 part, which makes it much cheaper to maintain. This is what I got when I hired the pros to do the job, but I didn't think that was good enough for Aquarius. So this is what I ended up with, and I'm going to show you how we got this excellent looking helm station. But first, I need to finish up the work on the windlass.
Make sure you get all the stuff you need in the area that you're going to be working so that you don't have to go back and forth and back and forth. I've gone through just about all my boxes. I got the silicone, I got a rag, I've got towels, I got something to clean up the windlass with, I got the grease that I'm gonna need, and I got the big boy tools. The other thing that you might need is Corrosion X. Need to test which one goes out. So that one goes out, and this one goes in. So there you go. So out, in, out like an O, in like an I. So I was just thinking to myself, you know, I need to like look and see which one the black and the red go to the green and the brown, but this is just as short, so those two wires, they don't matter. Let's just hook them up to either one. And this one's gonna go out, so it goes in the front one, and this one goes in, so this one goes up into this one, and then we short it to the red. So that's how we're going to wire it. So now we're getting some Corrosion X, and we're going to spray that whole thing with Corrosion X and make sure that we keep the rust off as much as possible. So there's what she looks like all before I just put it together. Got Corrosion X on the motor to keep that clean, and the rest is all done. And you can see the That's our new piece that we just put together. So that has a reed relay or a reed switch right behind it, and the magnet is it's probably on the downside right now. So, and I've shown you that already. So there you go. It's all ready to be put back together. So there you go. It's all done. It's looking really good. We got all of these parts filled up so they're not going to get any water in there. All this part so no water comes in. All these are done. I'll clean this up off this so it looks a little bit nicer, but beautiful.
My name is Marcus. My business is Fretworks, and we do CNC design and fabrication here in Trinidad.
So here we're going to get this all done, and I got all the parts that go into this so they can make sure that they fit perfect, but we'll actually do. Can we get maybe a tour of your shop?
Yeah, sure. You can pop by and we can have a walkthrough and see what we have going on. All right.
Looky there. This is our new one. Let me set the camera down for a second. Whoop. So we cleaned up everything. Got a new gasket in. And then we're just about ready to install it and make it look really, really cool and nice. Oh, look at that, baby. Look at that.
Because we have unknown shape that has irregular lines and patterns and placements, so what we would then do is lay it out on a square edge, and we would just plot points. So the first point, we would use an X and a Y axis, and each point would be based off of a home point, which would be 0, 0, and then everything is a certain measurement away from 0, 0. So you just create enough plot points that you can map it all out smoothly, and then that way, as you measure each plot point, its distance from 0, it'll have a coordinate that plots it in, and as you enter all of those back into the computer, it'll retrace the whole shape.
Wow.
And we cut a sample, test it back, make sure that everything is lined up, fix corners that are not perfect or placements that are just out, and then once that's done, that's it.
Okay.
It's
So
not-
many gyms here in Chagaramas that you just don't know until you know.
So many jobs you don't know until they've had to do it at least once, and then you figure out, well, how do you do that? And then you work a solution. So then you come back after you've drawn out all your points and you trace back each point. So this guy is away from 0, 1.369 inches. So this would be 1.369. Coordinate 1, coordinate 2 is 0 because it's still pretty much on the flat. It may be 0.02 because it's just starting to come up. So you're just talking about a fraction of a point coming up. And then we'll just keep going all the way up and marking along the bottom curve and along the top curve, and then placements of gauges.
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, man.
I was just going to do just a short video.
Oh, yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah, so I mean, the business is Fretworks. We're known for fretwork, which is that sort of colonial architectural style, sort of gingerbread house type stuff. These are like fascist trim pieces, but we do a lot more modern type things. That's some aluminum that we did for a job, and we do a lot of these types of architectural details is more what we do, but we can do anything that you can use a CNC machine to make. Okay, so we do have Alright, let's come in. Right, okay, so this top corner here is a bit high. If we bring it down, right, you online there? Right, so that hole is out by a couple mil. That one we knew was out. So this one is pretty much dead center. He is low and to the left, so we have to double check that. That hole
All those
looks
look
pretty good. There's a little edge here. The top edge we can bring up in the middle, and on that corner we definitely need to come up.
Nice to tell you how cheap does be thinking when they're doing anything. Because one roll of those tape is about $200.
The roll of that tape is 200 bucks?
Yeah, 200 TT of the
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Alright, I'll throw that away.
Yeah. Alright, good. So let's see. Look at the new ladder.
After 4 practice fittings, we are ready to make the backing plate for our new helm station. Hey, speed it up a bit, please.
So is that it?
Yeah, that's it. And like, this is out. Big reveal. That is your beautiful panel.
Oh my
We
god.
tweaked and tweaked.
A lot of tweaks in that panel.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm going to put it in.
Well, that's it, guys. We are done with the panel.
So work continues. Just cleaned that whole thing with acetone. It should be ready to be glued. You can see here we went through a bunch of modifications trying to get it right. That was one of the modifications. This was our last modification right there, and this was, oh, maybe that was the last one right there that we did. So I might save that one, because that one is exactly how the one up there is. We don't want to get anything on that. Okay, this goes like this. So this comes off.
Well, now we have to wait 24 hours for the glue to dry. Then we'll see the results.
So, in order to measure the gypsy, one rotation of the gypsy, what we're going to do is we're going to, so now we're dead top with the magnet, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to mark it. So we'll just mark this one, and now we're going to go out one rotation of that gypsy. And that's going to be right about here. So you can see this is lining up with that gypsy right here. So now we've marked it from here to here. Now what we do is we just measure that. And that looks like just about 34 centimeters, maybe 33.9 centimeters, 33.5 centimeters. Okay, back in the cockpit. Now we're going to turn our chain counter on. And this is the quick QNC CHC. And then to unlock it, you tap twice. So now what we're going to do is we want to go into the mode where we set it up. So what we do is we tap and hold. What? Okay, now that puts us into the mode where we can set it up. So we're going to do a manual calibration, and we're going to set that up for 33.2, or yeah, 33.5. Should be all right. Maybe we'll go down just a little bit. And we only have one magnet on board, so that's it. The other thing that I did set up is, oh, I set up chain on board. We have about 78 meters of chain, and I turned that on. You can turn that on or off, but I left that on, and now we're going to go down. And we're going to go back. And now we've got it set up. We have our anchor set. We have 35 meters of chain out. And it says we've got 42 meters of chain left to put out. So there we have it. We're at anchor. And I really like the quick chain counter, and they're a company that stands behind their products. So I stand behind Quick because they stood behind me, and when I had a problem, they answered my call. Now, there was some problems in the beginning. We had a problem because we were getting too many clicks through the chain counter, and that's because our magnet and switch up there is right next to the motor. So when the motor makes noise, I would get some noise and it would give me extra clicks on the meter. So then every click is a turn, so it's 0.3 meters that just pops up there. So I was off a little bit, but now I put an inductor in series with both lines that come from the reed switch, and I put a capacitor in parallel with those lines. So now I've filtered out all the noise and it is working like a charm. So we really like our setup now. Our dash looks great. I really like it. And Javila, how do you like it?
I love it. It looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks really nice. It's a little dirty now. We'll get it cleaned up. But we really like everything that we got done. We got new compass, new leather wrap on our helm, and everything is looking wonderful.
So that's your favorite upgrade this season for Aquarius?
No, my favorite upgrade is going to be my next upgrade.
Nothing heard. Are there any more questions or announcements? before I close the net. Nothing heard. This is Patrick on the Sailing Boat Solutions in the wet Hog Island anchorage. I bid everybody a great day. Just remember the liquid sunshine is still out there. Keep those hatches closed. The net is now closed.
My morning routine. It's taken me a little while to get into my morning routine, but finally back in. So we do our list. I still want to see what my voltages are. We're at 46% right now. 26.1 volts minus 4.5 amps. So I want to get all that data so I can see how my batteries are doing all the time. But also I want to see how much water we got on board, what the engine hours are. And then I also go in the engine room and check things out. What a beautiful day in Grenada. One of the things I always do in here, check to make sure the bilge pump is working. Check to make sure that there's no leaks in anything. Look how clean that is. Noticed just a couple days ago we took off one of the other ray cord because we had a leak, and we rewired everything or repiped everything so that we can use just one ray cord till we get the other one fixed. But one of the other things you do is check your fluid levels. I must say, I didn't know when I first started Sailing Aquarius, but one of the things that you should know, and you should actually make sure that you learn it if you don't, is where your emergency shutoff is. And on my engine, it's right there. Emergency shutoff is right there. The emergency shutoff is, let's come down at it, right there. So you just pull that over for your emergency shutoff. And while your engine's not working, you might exercise that once in a while. Even though you don't want to shut it off, you exercise that just to make sure that it's working properly. So that's the emergency shutoff on mine. I just had the pump rebuilt. So we have a pretty much new high pressure pump on it, and we also got new injectors. So we are good to go, and the engine is not smoking at all, and Desi did a great job, and pretty much no leaks. So that is my checks in the engine room. The other thing I check is for the hours on the genset. 34,3444.4, and I'm done in the engine room. 4901.3, and of course we already made coffee for my wife and for me as well. So we write down 4901.3. So that is my morning routine for my list. And on this list I also say how much money I spent, how much it cost me. Yesterday we had to spend $20 for the mooring ball. Now we're on anchor, so it's going to be free. But I write down everything that happens kind of during the day and try to get our expenses as well. We also just had the net that you just heard, so I have a couple notes on the net. What other lists do I keep on Aquarius? Well, we keep a list
every single time we move Aquarius. So we have the engine hours to start, how many miles we're going to go, well, what the winds were, you know, what time we left, and you know, the engine hours at the end and what time we got there. So this we have all throughout, you know, since we've owned the boat. Every single trip, every single move, we have it on the list. This is a list of all the items I need to repair on Aquarius and the jobs that I need to do. And this is a list of what I want to buy, what it cost, and when I actually bought it. So I want 2 blinking blue lights for anchor. I got some in Thailand that I really like, but I can't find them anymore. So those are some of the lists I keep. Now let's look at one of the other lists that I think that you should actually have on your boat, and that's a list of all the maintenance that has been done, and when it was done, what the next time it should be done. So we have all the things for the boat. You can see I removed the port fuel filter for repair, and that's the Raycor filter. It says when the elbow was replaced, when the timing belt was last replaced, injectors replaced, coolant flush, turbo replace, you know. So I've got all the jobs that have been done on the engine or should be done on the engine, and when the next time that they should be done. And this actually turns red if we go over the date. So this things here, we actually have some things to do. So anyways, there you go. That's the list I keep. And that is my morning routine. I purchased Anchor Pro a long time ago, and I did a video about that when I was in Thailand. And here's our setup. We just put our Anchor Pro here. Well, we put our iPad right in front of the printer, and it just sits there, and our anchor alarm will go off if anything happens. I really like the way that all fits together. But you can see we got the perfect smile. That is so freaking nice.
If you like this video, give us a like down below and click here to subscribe. That really helps us. And if you want to watch more of us, click one of those.
They said they came from Spanish.